डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
Namaskar, I, Dr. Darshana Dalwadi, is welcoming you all to the lecture series of Principles of Cybersecurity from the Chaitanya Studio of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. In previous lecture, we discussed about advanced persistent threats and cyber kill chain. Today, we are continuing the previous lecture's discussion. See, in last lecture we discussed about the problem we have, the advanced persistent threats we are talking about, but how it comes in our system, what actually the problem is in organization. Actually they are not understanding what is APT and they are not knowing it and they are having the effect of that threats. So that we have discussed. After that we started advanced persistent threat. In that first term is advanced, that is already discussed. As the name suggests, I am just giving you the overview that advanced means what. As the name suggests, the attackers are using advanced techniques and tricks, advanced technology to steal the information from the organization. And after that they are getting the information, encrypting it, and that encrypted form is not getting accessed on the network. Up to that we have discussed. The next thing we are going to see, that is the second term of APT, that is persistent. Now persistent means what? The attacker will not stop after failing or once or two times. Means persistent means you can say continuous. As we have seen that when we are having APT, at that time the attackers are staying in the system up to their motive is not get solved. Whatever motive they have, that is not get solved, up to that time they keeps the code in their organization. So we can say it is persistent. Attacker will not stop after failing once or twice. First time they are trying, they are not getting success, they will try again, they will try again, they will try again, up to the time they are not having success in their attack. They will keep trying until they are successful in their objective. They need to establish continuous defensive measures. The persistent nature of an APT is what it causes more damage to the organization. As the name suggests, persistent, it means they will try continuously. So it is the duty of the organization to provide continuous defensive measures against such things. And because of this persistent nature, more damage is there in organization. It simply means to remain stealthy for a prolonged period of time and not get caught due to its state-of-the-art coding techniques. They get into the system, remain there until the data is completely exfiltrated, and they leave without getting on the surface and they do not leave any trace. What actually these attackers are doing? They are entering in your system, they will remain there. As we have discussed already, that they up to the successfulness of their motive, they will remain in your system, in your organization. They remain there until the data is completely exfiltrated and they leave without getting on the surface and they do not leave any trace. They are not having any clue. They are not keeping it. They are destroying all the clues or all the ways or all the traces they are having. So it becomes very hard for an organization during the post investigation when any third party services such as law enforcement agency inform them regarding the APT attack on an organization. Because the attackers are not leaving any trace, they are not leaving any type of clue, it becomes difficult for the organization to identify, to check that whether they were having such type of APT or not. It would be very difficult for an organization as they don't know where to start an investigation and how to decide a timeline for that. Because of such things, the organizations are facing many difficulties of finding the ways, of finding the solutions. They don't even able to know that from where to start, from where they will start the investigation. They don't know because they are not having any type of clue from where the attackers have attacked in system, and because of that they are not able to decide the timeline for the attack. As mainly APT attacks are not for a few days, an attacker could have a foothold in systems from many days. We can have it from weeks also, we can have it from months also, or sometimes it may be years also. As we know that when we have APT, it is not so that attacker will attack just now and the attack will get succeeded and they will leave the system after stealing the information. It is not so in APT. They will remain in that system. Up to how much time they will remain? It depends. How much time it is taking to complete their motive. It may be in form of days, in form of weeks, or in form of month, or in form of years. The persistent process suggests that an external command and control system is continuously monitoring and extracting data from a specific target. This is what we are having in second term, that is persistent. Now the third term we have, that is threat. Threat we means we can in simple terms we can say it is a type of attack. But here what we have to understand, the threat process indicates human involvement in arranging the attack. For an APT to work successfully, it is important to hide the identity of the attackers, as APT attribution could lead to some real world conflicts. When we have this APT, at that time it is very much important to hide the identity of the attacker, because whatever attacks they are performing right now, it will give some real world conflicts. It will have some real impact in your organization. So if the attacker is identified anyhow, then what will happen? Next time the attacker will be identified, so he or she will not be able to do any attack. So it is very much important to hide the identity of the attacker. So the attackers will want to hide their tracks. It is not uncommon to see the use of unpatched vulnerabilities in this kind of operations. Here we can see one figurative representation is given, that is the things included in APT. Advanced persistent threat includes customized attacks. It needs patience. It is well organized. It uses new tools, advanced tools. It requires time, means investment of time is also required, as well as funding in terms of money, in terms of anything they require in the successfulness of the attack. So this is what we are having in APT. Now when we are having the APT, at that time the APTs are having some intentions. Now, what is the intentions, or we can say what is the intention they have? For a defender, it is very important to find out the intentions behind the APT attack. If you are a defender, then first we need to identify that what is the motive or what is the intention behind the attack. That would be useful in investigating the post incident analysis. If as a defender you know what is the motive or what is the intention behind it, then it would help you in the post incident analysis. Post incident analysis means the attack is done, now you are investigating. Post analysis you are doing. We will look into some of the intentions of the attacker which will concluded based on the previous APT attacks. We will discuss here what are the APT intentions we were having in previous APT attacks. So first we were having that is data. Their intention is of data. For any organization, it is important to understand the market strategy, other competitive organization working in the similar product market. The intentions behind such type of attack is in which an attacker tries to exfiltrate data such as proprietary designs, schematics, formulas, experiment details, source code, etc. In such type of intention, what the attacker will do? Attacker will try to find the designs of proprietary things, the schematics, the schema, whatever they are using, different formulas if they have, then that formulas, then the details of the experiments, the source codes, such type of things they are using in data. Second intention we have, that is information. It is very important for an organization to keep internal information in a very closed loop, such as its financial status, future corporate directions, its mergers and acquisitions. This type of information is very useful to target the organization. Then after we are having the APT threat vectors. When we are talking about APT, at the time, first thing we have seen the intentions. Now we are having the threat vectors. Now in threat vectors, we are having external part and internal part. In external threat vectors, we are having first thing as the internet. Now in internet, what are the ways, or we can say what are the access points from where the attacker can attack? First thing we have, that is email attachments, then file sharing, then pirated softwares, then mass vulnerability exploits. If such things are there in our system, then there are chances to have APT through internet. And right now, most of the organizations are using this internet, and all these things will be there. Then in external we have second one, that is physical. Physical means the things or the devices which we are using in our organization. Infection using external devices, like we are using any device of data transmission, like USB we have, then we have CD, then we have external disk drives. If such type of things we are using in our organization, then also there are chances of having this APT. Malicious IT equipment, raw Wi-Fi access points, stolen mobile devices or laptops. So these are the entry points which are included as external threat vectors. First thing we have, that is internet, from the different attachments, then from different links, file sharing, they can enter. and second one is physical, means we are using any devices, then through that also they can attack. Then after we are having threat vector. In it we have internal part, means internally what can be there which can damage to your system. It can be trusted channel like stolen credentials, P2P tapping, untrusted devices, hijacked cell communications. So such things we have in internal APT threat vectors. There are other threat vectors which are also present, which are related to softwares used inside the organizations. In your organization, suppose you are using different softwares, then related to that softwares also you may have threat vectors. Here we have seen one threat vectors which is showing us that how external things are there which can infect your system, and how the internal things are there which can infect your system. Then after we have insecure build. Insecure build means insecure devices, unpatched software versions, misconfigured devices. These all are included in insecure build. Then information leakage, exposure of sensitive material on online or social media. From online media you can have leakage of information. On social media also you can have leakage of information. When you are posting your sensitive material or sensitive data on such type of online or social media platform, there are chances of information leakage through which you can have attack in your organization. Then we have next vector as application security. In that you can consider fuzzing or reverse engineering, then buffer overflows. Then after next we have that is APT tools. Now as we have discussed that when we are having APT, at that time they are using advanced tools or advanced techniques. Now what are the tools they are having? Open source exploit softwares. Open source softwares are available which they can use. They can use malwares. In that they can have botnets or rootkits or ransomware or malicious attachments. Then open source available exploit code. Then using 0 days. All this can be used as a APT tools. Now what are the APT techniques? The APT techniques we have, number of techniques are there. Here we are discussing some of them. First one we have, that is open source intelligence. It is also known as OSINT, OSINT you can say. As the name suggests, it is open source, and we have seen that they are using new techniques. So every time whatever they find new in this open source intelligence, they will use it. Then after we are having social engineering, or we can say using SET, social engineering toolkit. The short form of this is SET. Leverage social media information. As the name suggests, we are having the information on social media. They will try some techniques or tricks to steal the information from it, and then they can use against the organization. Identify contextual and behavioral information. Then after we have next technique, that is targeted spear phishing attack. It requires in-depth knowledge of internal communication method, requires to build a strategy which lures the target and performs a predetermined action. As the name suggests, targeted spear phishing attack means whatever target they have defined, to accomplish it, whatever strategy they require, they build it and they perform the predetermined actions. Then we have that is malicious attachment. Now in this what we can have? We can have file format such as PDF or Office, MS Office. In that we can have Word, Excel or Access is used mostly in APT. With the help of such type of file, uh, they are sending their code and trying to attack the system. Usage of exploit kits to generate the documents which contain malicious macros and craft the malicious attachments to send it to the target using a properly crafted email. They are generating one email. In that attachment, in emails attachment, they are sending such type of documents which is containing the macros which are malicious, means which are harmful for your system, such as fallout, angler, rig, nuclear, neutrino. These are well known examples of exploit kits. With the help of such exploit kits, they are generating documents which will contain the macros which are harmful to your system, or you can say malicious macros, and these malicious attachments are sent with the email which is crafted to execute their motive. Exploits are easy to use, can be easily obtained from the dark web. It provides command and control infrastructure services. So this is what we have in malicious attachments. Then after we are having hardware devices. Hardware exploits in the internal devices which are used. It may be projectors, printers, shared file servers which are usually connected with the internet. They are left open without any security measures. An attacker tries to use such resources, gain access to the internal network. Whenever we have such type of hardwares, suppose we have projectors, we have printers, or we have server on which we are sharing the files, and if such type of hardwares are connected with the internet and they are left open in sense access is open. So when such type of devices are easily accessed, then they are trying to access it, they are trying to use such resources to gain the access of the internal network. With the help of these things, they will try to get the access of internal network, and from there they will steal the information. Then after we are having here the steps involved, we can say the cycle, attack vector cycle. As you can see here, we are having number of steps which is indicated by 1 to 7. Now first thing what we have, first thing here you can see the entry point is there. At their entry point, three things are written: internet, email and devices, which already we have discussed. That through internet means through social media, through P2P transaction, or through drive-by downloads, they can enter in your system. Second thing, by email, by spear phishing or by whale phishing. Third thing we have, that is by devices, means we are using any external devices like USB flash drives or phones, mobile phones or tablets. Then these are the entry points. As you are using any of these things in your organization, you are having chances to get APT in your organization. So from there it starts. First step is lure end user to download exploit or corrupt file. They are attracting the users to download the files which they are having. Second thing, exploit executed. Whatever malicious code they are having, that gets executed as the user is downloading it or using it in some way. Then after, third thing is inject additional code, Trojan or backdoors. whatever target they have, for it whatever coding is done, that is got injected in your organization. Fourth step is establish command and control channel. Now, after adding that code, that will establish the command and control channel. Fifth one, explore and move literally within organization. Now it gets execution. After establishing the command and control channel, it will start getting executed. So what it will do, it will explore and move literally within your organization. And sixth step is it is stealing and transmitting the target data out of the organization. As now it has entered in the system, now it will start working on getting the information. It will steal the information. After stealing the information, it will start transmit the data, whatever targeted data they have, that will be transmitted out of your organization. And seventh step we have, that is malware become the APT, final stage mutations. And after this, you will come to know that you are having one malware which is having many impact in your system. It has impacted your system in many ways. So this is the cycle we have called as the attack vector cycles, which shows you that how you can have the APT in your system. Up to this we are keeping in this lecture. Next thing we will discuss in next lecture. So thank you for today.
स्वाध्यायः परः